RPJames, gorgeous and beautiful gamers. Welcome back to Role-Playing Games. This is Mariel Con 9 days, and I would like to discuss about RPGs, like the content, like the videos, super appreciated. And I was told you today you're a gorgeous and beautiful person, you're indeed a gorgeous and beautiful person, and please ignore all of the graphical glitches that you will see during this video. It is a demo at the end of the day, and I want to go through a little disclaimers before we continue. Again, this is a demo, so some of the information that I'm going to give you right now might be subject to change in the final release of the game, although I do not believe that on the specific matter that we're going to be discussing about today, that is going to be the case, and there is a very good specific reason for that. But before though, we have to add some context. If you're a veteran, if you're already a Nioh enthusiast, then again, this is just Nioh 2.5. And for those that are not aware of this, just like the spiritual successor of Nioh, a PlayStation exclusive that is a very niche Souls-like game. This is going to get more attention on it because it's from Game Pass, and Game Pass is going to allow to a whole bunch new people, new audience to experience this game. So that is what we need to do first before we dive into how the character building is going to be impacted from Nioh, back from the days of Nioh, because then again, if you come from Nioh, you will definitely immediately recognize many of the mechanics that Nioh has. That being said, so context, again, veterans are already going to be aware of this. Gear system in Nioh, it was hideous. I hated it, you hated it, we all hated it for one specific reason. There is no denial in saying, I know that a lot of people is going to disagree with me, but it is what it is, dude. This is a Souls game. This is not a Souls game. I'm sorry, it's a Souls-like, right? Nioh, it's a Souls-like. Sure, it has different mechanics, it has a personality on itself, it has a personality of its own, it has its staple, right? Still, it is a Souls-like, whether you like it or not. But the very aspect that I did enjoy back in the day of Nioh was that kind of looter system where you would get new gear, new armors, new weapons, so on and so forth as you progress into the game, and it would be leveled. Right? It would be level based. So the issue with that is that you would level up too fast, and there were many armor sets. You wouldn't be able to use them properly. Ideally, yes, there were farming materials and upgrading your armor, leveling your armor, but if you wanted to do that, you would most definitely have to farm quite a whole lot of things, and that is one of the issues that the community had back in the day of Nioh. Now, developers did listen to the feedback, and they knew that that was an issue that we had with Nioh. Then again, you would be able to craft your gear, you would be able to craft your armor, but at the end of the day, for you to be able to get your skills, let me show you real fast. Again, lots of people are already going to be learning about this. This is how you make a build in Nioh. You have special effects right in there. So for example, in my general man armor, let's say that I am interested in getting that morale rank points gain, which you can see right there as the first special effect that I have right there. If I go up here, I have different ones. For a toxic build, I would very much better have toxic attack power. Then again, in Nioh this was something very difficult to do, because if you could farm armor sets with specific boss fights on specific levels, but they were level based, right? So if you wanted to level your armor, you wanted to level your gear, it would be too much of a hassle. There were lots and lots of blacksmithing materials that you would most definitely be able to farm to be able to level up your armor, but it was just way too difficult. Even more difficult if you have in mind, and this is something that I'm positively 100% sure that it's also going to be here on Wo Long, those materials, you would be using them to, instead of doing that, changing the special effects of the armor for that you need on your build. So for example, something that you could, I'm pretty sure that this is going to be the case, if you want to have toxic attack power but also copper obtention, morale rank points gain and toxic attack power, that is something that you could do via the blacksmith. It had a little bit of a randomized aspect, but you would be able to do it. Why would you want to do that thing if your armor would be level based? Level based armor meant that you wouldn't be able to craft your armor like that, because you have to change it for the next one that has the next level of defense. That is the context that you need to have. Now, truth to be told, it is an undeniable truth that whether you like to admit it or not, I've seen there's a whole lot of discussion about this, and I know that I am going to get for sure salty comments about this, that Nioh is different, Nioh is not a Souls-like, there's a whole discussion about that, but whether you like it or not, they take inspiration from Souls-likes and from Software. So one of the things that they master is that they have this huge beautiful combat. They take what it serves to them, what it helps them, and improve it, and that is something that they did in this game. So in my previous video I showed you how to get this armor set as soon as you can, and that is something amazing, because if I wanted to have like this one for example, I want to have this armor set mainly because right now I'm interested in getting the Yellow Heaven Must Rise armor set bonuses, which as you can see if we go over here on the set bonuses, I have a whole bunch of stuff that I want to have. Previously on Nioh, it would be difficult for you to be able to do this. It was possible via the blacksmith. Too much commitment. In Nioh, you better place a ring on your armor because you have to marry it if you want to be efficient and level it up. It was expensive, real expensive. So that is no longer the case, and I'm beautifully astonished about it. That is also the case for the weapon. So the progression system and upgrade system in this game means that it is basically the same as in the Soul titles. This armor is never going to be out-leveled by any of this armor that I have right here. The Star Cinder, the rarity, is not going to give it more armor, is not going to give it more physical resistance, is not going to be giving me anything else other than the special effects that you have right here. This can have 4 special effects, this one can have 3 special effects, this one has 2 special effects, and this one has 1, depending on the depending on the star of your gear. What I love about this system also is that you can go to the blacksmith, and with the blacksmith you upgrade your things. And if we go over to armor, you can see in here that I can use rank 1 leather to upgrade it to the next level, which is going to give me more defense. Meaning I can level up my armor to my heart content. Then again, this is something that could be changed on the retail version of the game, but I do have to say that they did listen to the feedback from the community, and they were aware, because this was a huge issue. The community was outrageous about, no one really enjoyed the loot system for Nioh, and if you enjoyed the loot system for Nioh, you're lying, right? They knew that that was an issue, so this is just a quality of life improvements. They took the formula from a Souls game and they implemented in here. So for example, if I want to make a build based on the General of Man bandana, I no longer have to go through countless and countless of Twilight levels to be getting those very rare materials to finally be able to upgrade my armor that is going to serve me for 5 more levels until I go 5 more missions and get 5 more levels, where then again where it gets rendered useless again. No, in this case you only have to come with this girl. That's true for the weapons as well. You will see that as you explore, you will get all this kind of different weapons, and you might as well be overwhelmed by them. But let me tell you that, for example, let me see if I have here, right here. Do you see how this is less rarity than this one, and they have the same damage? Same applies. For example, a bronze sword. Let me see if I have a next level of bronze sword. I don't. But I should have white woolen gadgets. This level 4, this level 4, and this level 3. So this one has 98 damage, and this one has, surprise, 98 damage. The rarity in here just means that you're going to get more special attacks. But for you to be able, if you wanted to, you could use this weapon, and if you're not too keen into delving too much into the special attacks, special effects, which you should, but if you do not want to, you can very much just grab one of these weapons, upgrade it, and it's going to be more than enough for you to be able to fight against anything. So basically, what they did is that now you can upgrade whatever you feel comfortable with. Another thing that I would like to tell you is that we have sabers here, straight sabers, swords, curved sabers, glaives. So this helps you manage your weapon, not to be overwhelmed. Again, they are not going to be level based. As soon as you obtain a weapon, you can upgrade it and keep using it depending on what is it that you want to do. So we have all kind of different weapons: sabers, swords, curved sabers, glaives, halberds, staff, hammers, poleaxes, spears, slashing spears, dual swords, dual sabers, dual halberds, and all of the dual halberds are going to have the same moveset, but they are going to be different from the dual sabers. And if you feel that a sword has a different moveset, that is because there are straight swords and straight sabers and base swords. And like these are going to have a very specific moveset, which is going to be different than this one, and so on and so forth. So yeah, that is how the system works. Meaning that, just to summarize everything, that you are going to be able to, as soon as you get something that you feel familiar, let's say that, for example, let me give you this example, which is very, very, very useful. On the very first level of this game, you can get this armor set from that boss. And you can go back and farm it as much as you like, and carry this throughout the entirety of the game. And if you feel comfortable with this armor set, which has very nice bonuses, the later armor sets are not going to be outclassing this one. It might be the case that you will find better bonuses or armor weight, because this is a light armor. Point is that as soon as you find something that you feel comfortable with, you can upgrade it, and you can keep it throughout the entirety of the game, which is lovely. I love that. You do not longer have to waste countless materials upgrading a weapon that is out-leveled by the crappy gear that you get on the later stages of the game, and you have to use it just because it's higher level. It is not longer to be the case in this game, and I'm so happy about it. Anyways, if you like the content, like the video, super appreciated. No one's told you today you're a gorgeous and beautiful person. You're indeed a gorgeous and beautiful person. Have a beautiful day, and I'll see you got them gorgeous and beautiful people in the next one. Subscribe to the channel before you close the door. Goodbye.